man is of the community of Israel. This is complemented by Ezra 10:2-3, where Israelites returning from Babylon vow to put aside their Gentile wives and their children. 74-75. A popular theory is that the rape of Jewish women in captivity brought about the law of Jewish identity being inherited through the maternal line, although scholars challenge this theory citing the Talmudic establishment of the law from the pre-exile period. 76. Another argument is that the rabbis changed the law of patrilineal descent to matrilineal descent due to the widespread rape of Jewish women by Roman soldiers. 77. Since the anti-religious Haskalah movement of the late 18th and 19th centuries, halakhic interpretations of Jewish identity have been challenged. 78. According to historian Shea J.D. Cohen, the status of the offspring of mixed marriages was determined patrilineally in the Bible. He brings two likely explanations for the change in Mishnaic times. First, the Mishnah may have been applying the same logic to mixed marriages as it had applied to other mixtures, Kilaim. Thus, a mixed marriage is forbidden as is the union of a horse and a donkey, and in both unions offspring are judged matrilineally. 79. Second, the Tanaim may have been influenced by Roman law, which dictated that when a parent could not contract a legal marriage, offspring would follow the mother. 79. Rabbi Reuven Krieger follows a similar reasoning, arguing that Jewish descent had formerly passed through the patrilineal descent and the law of matrilineal descent had its roots in the Roman legal system. 76. Origins. Egyptian depiction of the visit of Western Asiatics in colorful garments labeled as Amu. The painting is from the tomb of a 12th dynasty official Khnumhot II at Beni Hassan, and dated to c. 1900 BCE. Their nearest biblical contemporaries were the earliest of Hebrews, such as Abraham and Joseph. 80, 81, 82, 83. Depiction of King Jehu, 10th king of the northern kingdom of Israel, on the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III, 841-840 BCE. 84. This is the only portrayal we have in ancient Near Eastern art of an Israelite or Judean monarch. 85. A factual reconstruction for the origin of the Jews is a difficult and complex endeavor. It requires examining at least 3,000 years of ancient human history using documents in vast quantities and variety, written in at least 10 Near Eastern languages. As archaeological discovery relies upon researchers and scholars from diverse disciplines, the goal is to interpret all of the factual data, focusing on the most consistent theory. The prehistory and ethnogenesis of the Jews are closely intertwined with archaeology, biology, and historical textual records as well as religious literature and mythology. Jews originally trace their ancestry to a confederation of Iron Age Semitic-speaking tribes known as Israelites that inhabited a part of Canaan during the tribal and monarchic periods. 86. Modern Jews are named after and also descended from the southern Israelite kingdom of Judah. 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Garia. Rensburg links the early Canaanite nomadic pastoralists confederation Tofshasu known to the Egyptians around the 15th century BCE. 93. According to the Hebrew Bible narrative, Jewish ancestry is traced back to biblical patriarchs such as Abraham, his son Isaac, Isaac's son Jacob, and the biblical matriarchs Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, who lived in Canaan. The 12 tribes are described as descending from the 12 Esons of Jacob. Jacob and his family migrated to ancient Egypt after being invited to live with Jacob's son Joseph by the Pharaoh himself. The patriarchs' descendants were later enslaved until the Exodus led by Moses, after which the Israelites conquered Canaan under Moses' successor Joshua went through the period of the biblical judges after the death of Joshua, then through the mediation of Samuel became subject to a king, Saul, who was succeeded by David and then Solomon, after whom the united monarchy ended and was split into a separate kingdom of Israel and a kingdom of Judah. The kingdom of Judah is described as comprising the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, partially Levi, and later adding remnants of other tribes who migrated there from the northern kingdom of Israel. 94, 95, 96. Modern archaeology and the current historical view has largely discarded the historicity of this narrative. 97. It has been reframed as constituting the Israelites' inspiring national myth narrative. The Israelites and their culture, according to the modern archaeological and historical account, did not overtake the region by force but instead branched out of the Canaanite peoples and culture through the development of a distinct monolatristic and later monotheistic religion of Yahwism centered on Yahweh, one of the gods of the Canaanite pantheon. The growth of Yahweh-centric belief, along with a number of cultic practices, gradually gave rise to a distinct Israelite ethnic group, setting them apart from other Canaanites. 98, 99, 100. The Israelites become visible in the historical record as a people between 1200 and 1000 BCE. 101. There is well-accepted archaeological evidence referring to Israel in the Merneptah Stele, which dates to about 1200 BCE. 102, 103. It is not certain if a period like that of the biblical judges occurred. 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, nor if there was ever a united monarchy. 109, 110, 111, 112. There is debate about the earliest existence of the kingdoms of Israel and Judah and their extent and power, but historians agree that a kingdom of Israel existed by c. 900 BCE, 110, 169, 95, 111, 112. And that a kingdom of Judah existed by c. 700 BCE. 113. In 587 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar II, king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, besieged Jerusalem, destroyed the first temple and deported the most prominent citizens of Judah. 114. Genetic studies on Jews show that most Jews worldwide bear a common genetic heritage which originates in the Middle East, and that they share certain genetic traits with other Gentile peoples of the Fertile Crescent. 115, 116, 117. The genetic composition of different Jewish groups shows that Jews share a common gene pool dating back 4 millennia, as a marker of their common ancestral origin. 118. Despite ever long-term separation, Jewish communities maintained their unique commonalities, propensities, and sensibilities in culture, tradition, and language. 119. History. Israel and Judah. The earliest recorded evidence of a people by the name of Israel appears in the Merneptah Stele, which dates to around 1200 BCE. The majority of scholars agree that this text refers to the Israelites, a group that inhabited the central highlands of Canaan, where archaeological evidence shows that hundreds of small settlements were constructed between the 12th and 10th centuries BCE. 120, 121. The Israelites differentiated themselves from neighboring peoples through various distinct characteristics, including religious practices, prohibition on intermarriage, and an emphasis on genealogy and family history. 122, 123, 123. In the 10th century BCE, two neighboring Israelite kingdoms, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, emerged. Since their inception, they shared ethnic, cultural, linguistic and religious characteristics despite a complicated relationship. Israel, with its capital mostly in Samaria, was larger and wealthier, and soon developed into a regional power. 124. In contrast, Judah, with its capital in Jerusalem, was less prosperous and covered a smaller, mostly mountainous territory. However, while in Israel the royal succession was often decided by a military coup d'état, resulting in several dynasty changes, political stability in Judah was much greater, as it was ruled by the house of David for the whole 4 centuries of its existence. 125. Around 720 BCE, Kingdom of Israel was destroyed when it was conquered by the Neo-Assyrian Empire, which came to dominate the ancient Near East. 94. Under the Assyrian resettlement policy, a significant portion of the northern Israelite population was exiled to Mesopotamia and replaced by immigrants from the same region. 126. During the same period, and throughout the 7th century BCE, the Kingdom of Judah, now under Assyrian vassalage, experienced a period of prosperity and witnessed a significant population growth. 127. Later in the same century, the Assyrians were defeated by the rising Neo-Babylonian Empire and Judah became its vassal. In 587 BCE, following a revolt in Judah, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II besieged and destroyed Jerusalem and the first temple, putting an end to the kingdom. The majority of Jerusalem's residents, including the kingdom's elite, were exiled to Babylon. 128, 129, Second Temple period. According to the Book of Ezra, the Persian Cyrus the Great ended the Babylonian exile in 538 BCE, 130, the year after he captured Babylon. 131. The exile ended with the return under Zerubbabel the prince, so called because he was a descendant of the royal line of David, and Joshua the priest, a descendant of the line of the former high priests of the temple, and their construction of the Second Temple circa 521-516 BCE. 130. As part of the Persian Empire, the former Kingdom of Judah became the Province of Judah, Yad Medinata, 132, with different borders, covering a smaller territory. 133. The population of the province was greatly reduced from that of the kingdom. Archaeological surveys showing a population of around 30,000 people in the 5th to 4th centuries BCE. 110. 308. Judah was under control of the Achaemenids until the fall of their empire in c. 333 BCE to Alexander the Great. After several centuries under foreign imperial rule, the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucid Empire resulted in an independent Hasmonean kingdom, under which the Jews once again enjoyed political independence for a period spanning from 110 to 63 BCE. 134. In 63 BCE, Judea was conquered by the Romans. From 37 BCE to 6 CE, the Romans allowed the Jews to maintain some degree of independence under the vassal Herodian dynasty. However, Judea eventually came directly under Roman control and was incorporated into the Roman Empire as the province of Judea. 135, 136. The Jewish-Roman Wars, a series of unsuccessful revolts against Roman rule during the 1st and 2nd centuries CE, had significant and disastrous consequences for the Jewish population of Judea. 137, 138. The First Jewish-Roman War, 66-73 CE, culminated in the destruction of Jerusalem and the Second Temple. The severely reduced Jewish population of Judea was denied any kind of political self-government. 139. A few generations later, the Bar Kokhba revolt, 132-136 CE, erupted, and its brutal suppression by the Romans led to the depopulation of Judea. Following the revolt, Jews were forbidden from residing in the vicinity of Jerusalem, and the Jewish demographic center in Judea shifted to Galilee. 140, 141, 142, Similar upheavals affected the Jewish communities of the empire's southeastern provinces, when a significant uprising known as the Kittos War, 115–117 CE, resulted in the complete disappearance of the influential Jewish community of Egypt and Alexandria. 139. The destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE brought profound changes to Judaism. With the temple's central place in Jewish worship gone,